So let's move on to best camcorder. I should say, actually, before we talk about this, this is not a secret. We're not doing like a countdown to and a reveal or anything. The article's been online for a while, so you can go online if you want to read ahead. It's just go to Videomaker and look for best products of the year 2019.
Mike's on the website. I'm reading it off of paper. So, if you like paper, you can have that. I just happened to not pull it up on my computer, so I got it here. But best camcorder. So this was not the year of the camcorder. There was
no, that's true. When was the year of the camcorder?
Early 2000s, maybe.
The year that the XL2 came out.
Yeah, or even XL1. Those were when it's like, oh, but even is that a camcorder because it had an interchangeable lens camera? Compared to like maybe the DBX 100 or
the DBX. Yep, that's the
Sony VX 1000s or 2000s later. PXW 100. All those are like that skate. I always think of this. There's the skate camcorder. They're the ones with the handle on top that you can, easily use and have a microphone on them and whatnot.
So they've been there's actually the camera companies are still putting out camcorders at a pretty decent clip.
Yeah, they're still they're just not putting them out at the frequency that they're putting out other things, right? They're doing one for every 3 other kind of cameras, but there's still a lot of people that don't need more than that. We had a discussion recently actually with our I was talking to OMPT, our nonprofit, and they were talking about us bringing, like a C200 or a nice, not nice, but like a higher end camera to one of their trips where they go to third world countries and teach people how to do video production, and that they were kind of wondering if it would be kind of a bad form because they teach and train on camcorders, and they're like, oh, what's that guy? And I'm like, well, the cost of everything, if I'm like, hey, everybody gets a $7,000 camera, all of a sudden it becomes really out of reach, especially for small budgets and that kind of thing. But the other thing is there's so much more training once you have those types of tools to be able to do it just good enough. The amount of focusing and exposure and all those things that you have to really nail every time. You can't just day one go out and make a video with no knowledge prior to using it. Now, would I choose a camcorder over a cinema camera for any of the work I do? No, but there's a lot of videos that really benefit from it. News gathering, I think of like houses of worship. Just a lot of like if you just want to do documentary storytelling, but maybe not in like a heavy way, like documenting your vacations or you doing interviews. I mean, I have interviews of my grandparents talking about the slides that they took when they were growing up, and that we have, and like that's our historical record, and that was a really great use case because it didn't have shallow depth of field, so I could see my grandma in focus. I can see the slide. She could talk. We could hear it. It worked really well for that. But you don't always want to see everything in focus. Not a small sensor attached lens camera isn't gonna be best for a lot of productions. But there's some where it's right on the nose, and you shouldn't overthink it and do more complicated than that.
Yeah. So we hear a lot of the stories. People who have this perspective. A lot of people contact us who need to make video. They understand the importance of communicating with video, but they're actually just not that interested in the like diving deep into the craft and the sort of art side of it. They're just like, I need to make video.
I want to communicate using video.
I need a good sound. What do I do?
Yeah.
For years we have recommended for those people the Canon XA line. It's like the bottom level Canon XA line has always been just like a nice workhorse camcorder.
It's in an affordable price range. Yep. Although I think they actually over time they've gotten cheaper, but not like huge leaps and bounds, but they're still more affordable than they used to be. And they're all the professional camcorder is smaller than it was ever before. Like it used to be, you wanted this full size thing, but now like they can cram all that stuff in a camera, and there just wasn't a whole lot out there that anybody released this year. So it wasn't like a really pretentious category for us to choose. It was like, man, the XA40, that's a solid camera. What else would we consider? And the list was very, very short and not even competitive. So we thought it was a really good fit. I think we gave this award at CES when it was announced, this line. And I think it's just a solid camera. You have XLR inputs. There's just a lot of workflow things that are really going to benefit those that don't want to deal with the hassle of, just dealing with audio in general, going into a mirrorless or DSLR camera. you have to kind of know your thing, you know, like
Yep. This has got the audio controls, like physical audio controls right on the camera. You can adjust the gain right there. You can change your inputs right there.
Got built-in NDs, you know, it's got everything you need for just about anything other than giving you easy shallow depth of field. And, you know, what's it worth? That's the question, really.
And the whole thing is $1,400, you know, like there's a lot of camcorders out there that are many thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But this is like, it just seems to be when I hear these people who are asking for this type of, or it feels to me like they need this type of camera. This is about the price range you're going for. Like, it's really hard to tell someone who's just like, I just need to make some good video and I don't want to dive too deep into like how an image is captured and learn all the manual controls. It's like, you're not going to spend $6,000 on a ENG camcorder.
And not only that, but they fit really well in multi-camera shooting too. So like you can buy 3 of them for the affordable cinema camera, and now you have 3 angles, and likely you'll have more coverage. I wouldn't say wedding videography, because usually there's supposed to be kind of a pretty artistic aesthetic to that, or at least the high-end stuff.
But you know what it would actually be pretty good for is a multi-camera podcast.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Like we're not using it just because we honestly don't have that many camcorders. I think we have one behind Mike, and I don't think it powers on, but it's quite a few years old.
We have a few of those.
Yeah, I haven't charged the battery, so I have no idea. But they're good props now.